Hi Aries, this is your forecast for the month of September 2017. If you have visited me before, I want to thank you for returning, and if you are new, welcome to my channel. This is a general reading for Aries Sun, Aries Rising, or Aries Moon. It might also be helpful for you to watch your rising and moon sign. You can join me on Facebook and Instagram for daily insights on tarot and astrology, as well as my pay-per-view channel, vimeo.com/thealchemistastrologer, and one of my on-demand pages for readings about love, finance, and well-being. Okay, Aries, this first week, you are concerned with getting your desires met. There's a wish that you want to happen. And so this could be a week where things really are flowing. You feel like, maybe you can jump into a situation if you want to, or if you want to extricate yourself from something, it's easy to do that as well. So you are really feeling strong desires about something or someone, but you may not be altogether facing the truth of a consequence that's connected to your wishes. And so a situation may ultimately prove to be more challenging than you expected. Now, again, it's easy for you to influence, for you to get your way. So if you want something better, you want to negotiate something or bargain for something, or you want, something bigger, a promotion, a better price on an item, this is the week for you to jump out there and try to negotiate, because you're going to meet with very little resistance from others. So you might actually get the very thing that you want. But again, this is about knowing what you want and the price of it, the true price of it. What are the consequences to getting what you want? Because there is some element here in this week that is dealing with the shadow side of self. Now, this is a card of excess, of overindulgence. It could be a player. So you may be taking some risks and pushing things to the very edge. You may be dancing with the devil this week. Or there could be, again, something that you're not seeing, a hidden aspect to a situation, or even not facing the shadow part of yourself. There could be some fears that you're dealing with, or you could be dealing with some illusions. There's a smugness to this card and arrogance, and you may feel very sure of yourself, and yet something about your situation may not be what it appears to be on the surface. This could also be a week where you actually need to realize any fears that you have and acknowledge that. For some of you, the shadow side is playing out, whether that's in yourself or with others. And so this could be a week where you're not holding to a moral compass. You may bend your ethics a bit because there's a temptation to do so. And ultimately, you may get something back that doesn't hold the value you thought. So you could be working against yourself by going too far, by overestimating yourself or a situation or other people. So you have to make sure that this is a week where you keep your ego in check, and don't allow your emotions to run away with you, because this is the 10 of Cups. And so, the 9 of Cups. And so you have to maintain that common sense. You have to be practical. Now, for some of you, there's a fear that's taking place because something that you want is delayed, or again, it's not what you had expected. Now, the second week, you appear to be unhappy about a situation. Now, for some, this may be an addiction problem. There could be an excess. Maybe somebody's drinking too much, or there's too much, partying going on. But for some of you, this is about some type of loss. And it could be because last week you were pushing those boundaries too far. So this could be a week where there's some kind of unhappy ending, or you feel a sense of betrayal. Some of you, this is related to maybe some marital or family problems. If last week there were issues of infidelity, this could be the week where that is in crisis. So you may be dealing with your relationships in such a way where either you want to turn your back on a connection, or you feel abandoned yourself. You may be involved in relationships that really don't hold the love that you thought that they did. So you're really looking at your past. And right now, this week, all you can see is that unhappiness about a situation. You're not seeing the seed of potential to cross over some troubling matters that are connected to your relationships. But this is a card that deals with a mindset. So, this is about looking back at something rather than moving forward. So you may feel as if you're chained to the past and something is going to come up. And again, it could be because you were off on your estimation of something. And now you're really looking at something and you don't feel good about it. You're questioning where you are. Maybe you're looking at yourself. Was that the right thing to do? Or are you ever going to make the goal that you had set out for yourself? Or who are these people and do they really care about me? So you're having a real struggle this week between your head and your heart. So it's going to be especially important for you to satisfy yourself in some way that's not excessive. Give yourself something to look forward to and stop looking back. Even if you had some kind of emotional disappointment or some kind of setback, the sooner you shift your paradigm, the sooner you get in gear and go with the flow of a situation that maybe you're resisting, the easier it's going to be for things to start to progress for you again. There's a bridge over this troubled water in this card. So you're going to have to change your attitude or your behavior and stop spending time worrying about a situation. Also, this is about recognizing what responsibilities or obligations belong to you versus others. You may be in a situation where you feel at a loss because you feel it's your duty, your obligation to do something, and the other person involved is not realizing that it's their responsibility to pick up the slack as well. Or you may be having too many expectations. And again, going back to that Nine of Cups, this excess. And so too many expectations on both ends and not meeting in the middle. So you may have to rely on yourself this week if you've had any expectations of others. Now, again, keeping a positive mindset is important. This is a week where you're going to have to get to the bottom of something. And maybe you're not dealing with yourself. Again, that fear or not facing the hidden or shadow part of self. So you're not dealing with your true self, or you're not getting to the truth of a situation. So you need to look beyond something. It could be that last week, you're acting like you're all good, but deep inside, you feel a loss, you feel a sadness, you're brooding over something. Some of you, this is an emotional loss, but for others of you, this could actually be some kind of possession or piece of property that you're losing. And you may be putting on a game face and acting like everything's okay and not really dealing with your emotions. So this is about going deeper into a situation, addressing your emotions, your moods to try to get ahead and climb out of this hole. This is a warning card that says you should be thinking carefully about where your disappointment is coming from. Are you involved with the right relationships? Are you acting in ways that invite disappointment? Are you getting re-involved with people or habits that don't serve you? So are you working against yourself in some way? Now, the third week, you have the Page of Wands. This is fire energy. This is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, male or female. It could be a younger person. This could be a week where you get some kind of news or message, something that's exciting, and maybe you feel good about it. Maybe it promotes some kind of optimism for you. Maybe you're feeling restless, or maybe you're having to learn something, or there's a new acquaintance in your midst. But this could also be a message from far away, and this could be something that's impulsive. Something comes up that requires you to take some kind of immediate action, or take on a new idea or a new attitude. Especially again, if last week you felt a sense of loss, this is a change taking place this week. And so, there could be issues where, because fire is so impulsive, there could be issues related to not being reliable or unpredictable. For some of you, the loss is coming about because you're getting some bad news. Maybe, there's a lawsuit, or again, there's been some inconsistency of behavior, some indecision, some instability that connects to being powerless, or feeling a sense of displeasure. Now, some of you, this news again is some type of notification in connection to last week's sense of loss or disappointment. There's something unstable about your situation. But this is also an opportunity for you to get into gear and make those changes that you need to make. Some even small things will give you it'll set the tone for some big differences that may be better for you in the near future, in connection to your environment, in your relationships. Some of you, maybe you're trying to satisfy yourself, or maybe you're trying to save something or salvage something by taking some kind of action this week. It could be that you take a trip, or you go to a party or gathering, and this reinforces your sense of self, because you reconnect to yourself and your people skills, your skills of charm and connection, and you feel good about who you are. But for others of you, because that Five of Cups is sitting next to this card, you may feel like this relationship that you're involved in is changing for the negative, and maybe you don't understand why. You don't know, you're not following the breadcrumb trail. You don't know when things got off track, and you don't understand why they are the way that they are, and so you're at a loss, you're confused. But this is going to be a week that requires you to take some kind of action and make a decision. Now, the last week you have air energy. This is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, male or female. And again, this could be a young person, but it's likely that this is some kind of news. Again, maybe there's some trouble with the law or a legal situation. Maybe some kind of secret has been revealed. So this can go in one of two directions. Maybe this is something intellectual. Maybe you're trying to find out something. You're trying to learn something. You're trying to make a decision, and you're gathering information. It could be that something has come up. You need to take some quick action because you're at risk of some type of loss. You're disappointed with something. At one point, maybe you even closed yourself off emotionally, but now you need to make some changes. So if you're involved in some kind of dispute, or there's some anger issues going on, you may be in the process of negotiating something. You may be trying to solve a dispute and pull back on those emotions. You want to be rational. So you may be getting some professional advice. But for others of you, because you are dealing with the shadow side of either yourself or another person, you could be very defensive this week. And you may be very calculating. There could be some scheming involved, because remember, there was a temptation to bend the ethics. And so you may not be concerned about what other people feel. You're just acting on your impulses and going with it. Now, hopefully this is something, again, intellectual, where thought, speech is important, learning. So you may be dealing with people who are bright, who are energetic, who are mentally quick. But for others of you, there's something going on, perhaps behind the scenes, where somebody is trying to pry into someone's business. And there could be something going on, that you may not be very happy about. There could be gossip, or, somebody's being shady, or there's some blackmail taking place, or somebody's being aggressive or unpredictable or underhanded in the way they're dealing with something, being very cold and calculating. This is going to be a week where there is the possibility of meeting someone new, or either you become closer to somebody you're already connected to. But if you're angry and things haven't been going well and you're not interested in trying to salvage something, or they're not, then you're going to become further estranged from this person. And it's all going to center around the dialogue between the two of you, what you're saying to one another and how you're saying it. Now, for some of you, you're acting quickly. You realize some things have gone wrong and you want to save something. You want to cross over that bridge of troubled waters. And so you're going to negotiate. You're going to try to be rational about a situation. And so you're going to have a dialogue with another person where you're trying to come to terms with something. You're trying to agree on something. So there could be a meeting of the minds. You could actually end up on the same page because you clarify something or you come to a greater understanding. And one of the tools in your belt could be having a sense of humor to ease a situation, to cut through the tension. And so issues of love could be very important this week, whether somebody's being open-hearted, whether there are issues of generosity, being fair, or even are you loving yourself? Have you been investing too heavily in other people and there's a need to focus on you? So you may need to bring more love into your life, and part of that may be by loving yourself. But for others of you, again, that negative aspect of a situation is coming home to roost, and you are noticing the less appealing side of another person's character or their personality, or vice versa. And so this could be a make or break week for you. Again, depending on that conversation, you may hear some things that let you know that a red flag is waving, or this could ultimately be the straw that breaks the camel's back. And because this is a court card, it's likely that situations rest on someone else's actions or decisions rather than yours. Now, the underlying energy is this Seven of Wands. And so this is all about trying to gain some type of advantage. You may be trying to influence other people. Somebody may be drawing a line in the sand. There are strong feelings because people are acting in their conviction. People are working to defend themselves in their position. So you may be involved in a struggle this month, and you're trying to, manifest something, make something happen according to your wishes, or someone else is. So something may be happening to you. So you may be on solid ground right now and standing that ground, but you're not on solid footing at all. The tide could turn at any moment and work against you. So, if you're trying to figure something out, if something took you off guard, you may be fighting something unknown, some unknown adversary or some obstacle that you didn't expect that has to be overcome. Now, for some of you, you're taking action, you're trying to figure something out, you're coming up with a strategy, and you're going to take a calculated risk this month. You're going to be daring, or someone else is in your world. So this is trying to gain, again, that position of advantage and asserting yourself with a sense of purpose. And this is going to tie into, somebody's dreams or aspirations, or the fact that somebody has been unrealistic about a situation and not seeing things clearly. So this is going to be a month that requires you to be very flexible, The more you hold on to a position, a belief, or an idea, and you're just stuck and rooted in that without opening yourself up to possibilities, the longer you may have to deal with a negative situation. This is going to be a month that gives you some chances, some opportunities, and a few curveballs are thrown in as well. And it's all very karmic. So whatever it is that you want to do or whatever it is you want to make happen, you're really going to have to put in the effort and persevere. From the smallest goal to the largest dream that you have, you're going to have to work to make it happen. Now, somebody may be trying to get some advice or assistance. Maybe they're asking you. Maybe you're having to motivate other people or influence them. There's some changes that need to occur. And so you do that best by appealing to the other person and their vantage point. Again, remember, trying to be dispassionate, trying to be rational, trying to have a meeting of the minds on a situation in order to move forward. Some of you, you're going to have to change some things in your life. Your schedule, you're going to have to rearrange your priorities. You're going to have to reconsider what is important to you and what you value. And the way to get ahead is to be direct, play it real, but not in your face. This is not about threatening people or trying to overpower people and make them feel that they're being pushed or judged or criticized, because again, that's going to work against you. Now, some of you, you're going to feel as if, you're dancing on hot coals, that, no matter what you do, how hard you work, how much effort you put in, there's always disappointment. It's not meeting snuff. And so you may be going to that Five of Cups and feeling like a victim. You're brooding over a situation. Oh, this is not fair. And you don't realize that you are contributing to your own unhappiness because you're not opening up to other possibilities. And as a result, you may be taking your frustration out on other people that don't deserve it. So this is a month where you need to reconsider what you're doing. Now, this is going to center around your personal and your professional relationships. Are you involved in healthy interactions, or are you involved in something that's self-defeating, that is destructive, or something that's not working for you? How are you treating other people, and how are you allowing yourself to be treated? Whatever this is some old matter that you haven't dealt with that's now going to go to that next level, or for some of you, this is something entirely new. But whatever it is, something is going to be the spark that makes things start to unfold very quickly. And so you're going to be challenged this month about what you believe, about what you value, how you understand life, your relationships, your situation. And if you're on mark, you may be rewarded. But if you're not, again, you're going to feel as if you're tested. Whatever the outcome, you're likely to achieve your goal, although it's going to come in a totally different package, and it's going to change your perspective. Now, you have no major cards, which says that you are largely in control of the situation, or again, there are lots of options available to you. But this reading, your situation has a lack of stability. Something is not solid about it. And so it could just be that, this is something in progress, that there's some issues that are unfolding, that they haven't been fully worked out yet. Whatever it is, there are going to be some small little situations, some events that trigger some things that have been needing to change for a very long time. Now, this is going to center around your partnerships, agreements, contracts, exchanges with others, and whether you are disappointed about getting satisfaction or you're trying to satisfy someone, you're trying to save something. You're doing a review. There's some opportunity that presents for you where maybe you're looking at your finances. Maybe you're thinking of traveling. Maybe you're thinking of taking a relationship to the next level. You want to go beyond your sphere of influence in some way. And that has to do with taking some action or making a decision that would give you an advantage in some way. This is also going to be connected to perhaps friendship or sharing, or again, exchanges, where, maybe there's competition, or maybe there are conflicting interests or desires that are, involved in a situation. Maybe there's, two different focuses about something. Whatever it is, the past is influencing the here and now. And somebody is trying to find satisfaction, or this is, getting satisfied in getting some answers, or satisfying some kind of legal situation. This month could be very emotional and overly passive for you. And yet there is that small desire to move forward on a situation. And so they may not be moving yet as of this month, but there's still hope for forward movement. Now, that Page of Swords somehow is going to save the day for you, especially, again, if you use it in a way where you try to remain rational. You're trying to work something out. You want to resolve the conflict without becoming part of the conflict. So that's going to help you overcome the overly emotional element involved in this situation. So there is some logic and some reason still in force that could easily, find that you're out of control, or a situation is spinning out of control with yet no clear winner. So it's going to be very important, again, the dialogue that you have with another person. So it could be looking at the shadow aspect of a situation, grappling with fears, issues that center around love and respect, generosity, and trying to get to the bottom of something, getting to the truth, pulling off that mask, and making some kind of decision. All right, Aries, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. And of course, you can always book a personal reading at thealchemistastrologer.com.